It's day 2 of the Senior Babe Ruth AA American Legion, I should say rather not American Legion, Babe Ruth AA baseball tournament here in Bismarck, and we welcome you to it here on News Radio 1310 KNOX, 107.9 FM, KNOXradio.com. A superb day yesterday for Brody Sorensen of Grand Forks, striking out 11 on his way and Grand Forks' way to a 2-0 win over Williston in the opening round. Today, the challenge gets even more steep. They will take on the defending national runner-ups from American Legion baseball a year ago and the defending American Legion state champions, along with the current number 1 seed. Fargo Post 2 is here, and under coach Luke Rusted, this team has been on a roll over the past 5 years or so. They have really stepped up as the class of North Dakota American Legion baseball, and they come in this year as the number 1 seed and looking to repeat a performance from a year ago that was exceptional. This team was in Grand Forks a year ago, played Grand Forks, in fact, for the state championship, won the matchup, moved on to a regional, won that, moved on to the World Series, and eventually finished as the runners-up, and they started out on a roll this year as well. But during a stretch of the middle of the regular season, when a couple of key cogs in the wheel were missing, Post 2 became somewhat beatable, and they perhaps haven't had the same kind of season, same dominance as they had a year ago, but they dominated the AA landscape this year, going 14-2 in league play, and they take on a Grand Forks team that was 8-7 in league play and got a big win yesterday. Yesterday's results saw Grand Forks win 2-0. Lone 2 runs came in a 5th inning that saw Williston make a couple of errors. Grand Forks take advantage, and Dylan Kuntz with a 2 RBI single that backed up 11 strikeouts from Brody Sorensen on the way to the win. For Post 2, it was different. 7-0 lead going into the bottom of the 6th. They played 3 more, and they win their first matchup in 6 innings by a score of 10-0, one of 2 games in the opening round that was decided by the 10-run margin. And so they advance here after not quite the same test that Grand Forks had a year ago, or should say rather a day ago, and with a little bit more depth than Grand Forks will have today as well. Now, the first real challenge that comes up for Grand Forks will be the change that they'll make in their pitching rotation today, as they're going to go to Jackson Hoganson, who is not one of their top 3 pitchers throughout the course of the year. Hoganson throws with some velocity, not a lot. He's a left-handed thrower. He's going to try to keep Fargo Post 2 off balance, but this is part of a day that you knew was coming for Grand Forks if they made a run in this tournament. It was only a question of when. They were going to have a bullpen day somewhere along the way, and today they've chosen to have it against Post 2 the first time around. That leaves Zach Ziegler on the shelf. That leaves Zach Carolyn on the shelf. And then should they advance any further in the tournament beyond those 2 pitchers, they would get Brody Sorensen back, who threw yesterday. But that might put them in a situation where they need 2 wins on Saturday, and so there could be another bullpen day coming. They'll take it if that seems to be the case. But today is their first bullpen day, and they're going to go up against a very talented athlete in the form of Zach Sandy, who will take the hill today for Fargo Post 2. If you're a hockey fan, you're very familiar with Zach Sandy. He was part of that Fargo South Shanley team that went all the way to the state championship game this past year. Of course, beaten by Grand Forks Red River in that state championship game, but certainly a very talented athlete. We welcome you to our coverage today on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network, brought to you by Franson Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. FransonBank.com, with locations throughout the Red River Valley, 17th Avenue South in South Washington and Grand Forks, Highway 220 North in East Grand Forks, and always online at FransonBank.com. And New Vision Truck and Accessories, your truck accessory super center in Grand Forks. There's a bit of an aura around this team from Fargo Post 2, and we asked head coach Kelvin Ziegler about that aura before we got started today. The mantra that they're going to go with in the Grand Forks Blue Devils dugout today will be simple. Respect everybody, fear nobody. You heard that from Kelvin Ziegler as we got the game broadcast started today. You heard that phrase, roll the dice, and Kelvin Ziegler was very comfortable with that in our pregame conversation by going with Jackson Hoganson on the hill, by turning this over to the bullpen today and playing for future days in the tournament. They know they're rolling the dice, but let's face it, when you've got those 3 quality starters and a good mix of guys behind them in a 5-day tournament, you're going to have to roll the dice at some point, particularly with the likes of Post 2 in it, and Grand Forks chooses to roll the dice today. And that's how we get things started today from Municipal Ballpark here in Bismarck. It should be a great day for baseball. The weather is beautiful. It's 81 degrees currently in Bismarck. Not quite as much sun perhaps as yesterday. It's a little bit more humid. You're dealing with that in Grand Forks today as well. But we should have a good one, and we'll see these 2 rivals as of late doing battle again, this time in the quarterfinals of the State AA Senior Babe Ruth Baseball Tournament here in the capital city. It's Grand Forks and the Blue Devils against Fargo Post 2. Our pregame report will continue with the full comments from Kelvin Ziegler in just a couple of moments. Starting lineups are on the way as well. We'll also go through our keys to the game, presented by West Metro Buick GMC in Monticello, and we'll also take a look at the tools of the game, brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealer in Grand Forks. So stay with us as we continue our coverage from Bismarck. It's Fargo Post 2 and the Blue Devils today in the quarterfinals of the State Senior Babe Ruth Baseball Tournament on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck and Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Sitting here talking to our area Allstate agent, Fred Hage. Fred, insurance is never an easy thing to talk about or understand. What do you and your team do to make this a simpler process?
That's exactly right. Insurance can be complicated and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let my team educate you, protect you, and insure you the way you should be insured. Please give me a call today at 701-356-3665 or stop by one of my 3 area locations to better serve you. Allstate Fred Hage Agency.
Three Lions Pub is now back to a full menu. It's open 7 days a week once again. Plus, they're kid-friendly until 9 p.m. every night with a brand new kids menu. Stop in and ask one of the friendly servers about the daily drink and food specials. Three Lions Pub is now open Sundays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursdays 11 a.m. to midnight, and Friday and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Three Lions Pub in West Fargo. Proudly cheering on all Fargo, West Fargo, and other area teams playing this summer on Magnitude Sports.
It seems around here every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, to compete, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. They know sports aren't just about building skill and strength, but about building character. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
Make sure your boat and farm equipment is well protected during the off-season with Finest Auto Trim.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack in the Midwest. We thank you for your continued trust in Giants to provide you the best quality sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pistachios, and our delicious cashews.
Welcome back to Bismarck. Live coverage of the State AA Senior Babe Ruth Baseball Tournament here on News Radio 1310 KNOX, the Franson Bank and Trust, New Vision Truck and Accessory Sports Network. Ryan Cunningham with you this afternoon. It's Fargo Post 2 and the Blue Devils of Grand Forks in the quarterfinals of this year's state tournament. The winner moving on to the semifinals coming up tomorrow afternoon at 5. Loser plays tomorrow against 11 o'clock. Let's go to our Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard before we continue, as we can take a look at what's happened so far today with the games that have come in the tournament. There have been 2 loser-out games so far today to determine the opponents for tomorrow. In the first game today, Fargo Post 400 defeats Williston by a final score of 3-2. Post 400 advances to a 2 o'clock game tomorrow, and they'll get the loser of the upcoming matchup between Bismarck and West Fargo. And Minot defeats Dickinson by a score of 4-1. So the loser of this matchup, Post 2 and Post 2 and Grand Forks, will take on Minot tomorrow at 11. And then the semifinal with a berth to the state championship series on the line at 5 o'clock tomorrow between the winners. Yesterday's first-round games, Post 2 defeating Post 400 10-0 in 6 innings. Bismarck knocking off Minot 3-2. West Fargo over Dickinson 11-0. And, of course, the game you heard here on KNOX. A 2-0 win for the Blue Devils over Williston to move on to this level. Kelvin Ziegler is the head coach of the Grand Forks Blue Devils this season, joining us for our pregame report. We decided to go back to yesterday. What a day it was for Brody Sorensen. It was exactly what the doctor ordered. Not quite as brief as the doctor would have ordered for Grand Forks to preserve its pitching, but 11 strikeouts certainly was a factor yesterday for Grand Forks moving on to the quarterfinals.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen this summer by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today.
More offense than that. You're up against probably a number one pitcher in that situation, so you take that into consideration. But is there anything you need to clean up at the plate from yesterday?
I think our approach was pretty good yesterday. I think we've gotten better consistently as we've gone through the year. Today, we're really going to have a good approach at the plate. We're going to see a good one. And they've also got some very, very good depth, but we feel like we're going to have to score a ton of runs in order to stay with them. Right now, we're going to go with Jackson Hoganson. We're going to, inspired a little bit last night from what we saw with the Minot left-hander, we're going to start Jackson and maybe give him a different look. Our other two just saw two Zachs last week. So hopefully they're expecting to see one of those two, and we're going to hopefully come back with a lefty and see if Jackson Hoganson can keep us in the ballgame. And if he can get us to the 4th or the 5th and we got a lead, we still got 2 guys that we can come back with and try to win the ballgame, and Zach Ziegler and Zach Carlin. So that's our philosophy today, is to go with Hoganson. We know we're going to have to roll the dice in order to get to where we want to be at the end of this tournament, and someone's going to have to come up big for us on the mound. We're hoping Jackson Hoganson's that guy.
You know, you mentioned yesterday, and I think we talked about it, at some point in this tournament with your rotation, you're going to have a bullpen day or a somebody else kind of day anyway. Jet Weiss, Jackson Hoganson, those are guys that you talk about in that situation. It doesn't really matter if it's day 2 or day 4. It's all about getting to day 5, right?
Correct. We're going to try to stretch this thing out as long as we can. We think Jackson's our guy that can do that. And, we also got Jack Jenke in there. If we do have a left-hander that's effective, we can come back with Jenke also. But it's all going to come down to scoring runs. I think you hit it on the head earlier in our conversation. We've got to score runs. I don't know if 5 runs is going to be enough. No, not discrediting our pitching staff, but they're a good ball club. A lot of their hitters, their solid hitters, are left-handed. We're hoping that Jackson's going to fool them a little bit, get them out on their front foot, and hopefully we can make the plays defensively and get things done.
Finally, Coach, is there an aura about playing Post 2 right now? They were the national runner-ups a year ago. You played them in the state championship game last year. They've been on a roll really since that national tournament run a year ago. It almost seems like you might be up against 11 or 12 guys and not 9. There's a little extra in that dugout, isn't there?
Right. We know it's the same philosophy, the old cliche, respect all, fear none. We respect their program. We don't fear it. We know that we're going to be facing a good ball club, but we think we got a pretty good ball club too. So we're going to have to get things done. The bottom line is we got to worry about ourselves. We can't worry about Fargo. We're not going to change a bunch of things because we're playing Fargo. Again, we respect their program, but we've told our kids all year long, worry about yourselves, do your job, and if things work out, we'll be in a good situation at the end of the game, and let's see what happens. Again, we're rolling the dice. We know that. And if we do what we're supposed to do, we feel pretty good about our situation.
Kelvin Ziegler, the head coach of the Grand Forks Blue Devils, joining us for our pregame report today as we continue with our pregame coverage from this quarterfinal matchup here in the state AA Senior Babe Ruth Baseball Tournament. We'll make that mistake more than once throughout the course of the broadcast today. Let's move on our pregame report to the tools of the game, which is brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They are your Kubota dealer in Grand Forks. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools with 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks. A full lot of Kubota products located across from Simplot on Gateway Drive. And then at the corner of Gateway and Washington, you've got an unbelievable tool superstore. If you're looking for it, you'll find it at Acme Tools. A great service department to get things up and running for you once again as well. Check them out there also to help you out and get more work done around your construction site, your home, your workplace, your office. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, they are your Kubota dealer in Grand Forks. For the tools of the game today, for Grand Forks, one of the big tools will be left-hander Jackson Hoganson. As he goes, Grand Forks is likely to go today as well. He'll have to pitch to some contact. Jackson Hoganson's not going to go out onto the mound and overwhelm anybody with blazing fast or hard stuff. And so that means post 2 is going to hit the ball around a little bit. He'll have to pitch to that contact and avoid the extra hitters. And it will be up to the defense to make something happen. But if he can mix in enough off-balanced variety of pitches, perhaps he can keep post 2 just enough off-balanced to keep this thing close throughout the course. And as you heard from Kelvin Ziegler, you get to around the 4th inning or the 5th inning, and this thing is tight. You might be able to make a change, go to someone else to bring in a little bit better stuff and try to close the thing out. But Jackson Hoganson will be a big tool today. And then as you heard, hitting the baseball is something that Grand Forks wants to improve upon, and that puts some pressure on Joey Grabanski and Parker Monet, the 4-5 hitters. They're going to have to produce today. And so those 3 tools are the ones we single out. Jackson Hoganson, Joey Grabanski, Parker Monet, the big tools for the game today, brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealer in Grand Forks. Our keys to the game. Get your next set of keys from West Metro Buick GMC in Monticello. See how easy saving money can be. They've got the keys to your next ride waiting for you in Monticello. West Metro Buick GMC bringing you the keys to the game. Today, it's a little bit different than it was a day ago. Number 1 key for Grand Forks is going to be hit the baseball. It's not about finishing down in the zone for Brody Sorensen, striking out 11 guys. They're going to have to outscore Fargo post 2 a little bit today, so hitting the baseball will be a huge key. And the next part would be to avoid the big inning. Hoganson's going to pitch to contact. Very important to make the plays that are out there, but also to avoid the big inning. They're going to have to get out of innings with minimal damage today. That'll be a huge key against Fargo post 2. And those are the tools and keys of the game. Keys brought to you by West Metro Buick GMC. Let's catch up with the Sportsmanship Creed.
Understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop spirit of cooperation and team play. Develop into real, true citizens. Good luck to both teams, and let's play ball.
Sportsmanship Creed stated here. We're set for baseball. Grand Forks won the coin toss. And so despite being the lower seed, the number 4 seed, they're going to be the home team today. So they will bat second. Fargo Post 2 will bat first today, and that takes us to our starting lineups. And our starting lineups are brought to you by Chris Moen and Nodak Insurance. He knows insurance. He knows North Dakota, and he might even know you. Give them a call and find out more about how you can get a quote. With the competitive rates and the outstanding local service they offer, it's easy to see why more people in North Dakota are making the switch to Nodak Insurance. Give Chris Moen a call for a quote today. For Fargo Post 2, leading off will be left fielder Jace Dew. Batting second is first baseman Cole Hage. Batting third is Zach Kluvers at shortstop, and Drew Sandy cleans up at second base. Batting fifth will be the pitcher Zach Sandy. Caden Headley will bat sixth in center field. Batting seventh, Mike Hallquist at third base. Sam Mosier in right field will bat eighth, and Danny Boutain behind the plate will bat ninth. It'll be Dew, Hage, Kluvers, Sandy, and Headley, Hallquist, Mosier, and Boutain to face Jackson Hoganson of Grand Forks. And for the Blue Devils, their starting lineup, Hoganson will lead off as the pitcher. Dylan Kuntz will bat second at second base. Ryan Musilar will bat third at shortstop. Joey Grabanski cleans up at first. Parker Monet batting fifth in center field. Brody Sorensen at third base will bat sixth. Zach Carolyn bats seventh in left field. Brady Lewandowski will start behind the plate today for Grand Forks. He'll bat eighth. And Ross Meyer, who had a key play on a very small thing in yesterday's game, rounds out the lineup in right field. It's Hoganson, Kuntz, Musilar, Grabanski, Monet, Sorensen, Carolyn, Lewandowski, and Meyer to face Zach Sandy, the starting pitcher today for Fargo Post 2. Ross Meyer was hit by a pitch in that 2-run bottom of the fifth inning to lead things off, then went to third on an error fielding the bunt by Jackson Hoganson. That was on the part of Williston's pitcher Garrett Hill. And those were the two plays that allowed Grand Forks to put runners on with nobody out. And it later turned into a situation where a 2 RBI single to center field by Dylan Kuntz plated the lone runs of the game. Jace Dew, a lefty, will stand in to get things started against Jackson Hoganson, who's on the mound with the baseball. Hoganson winds and fires. First pitch is a fastball high and tight. Ball 1 the count to Jace Dew. We're officially underway at 3:58 this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, 81 degrees in Bismarck, our game time temperature. Pitch 2 is high as well up over the belt, and it's a 2-ball, no-strike start for Jackson Hoganson to Jace Dew. What you're seeing at the plate right now is kind of what Grand Forks was banking on. A lot of lefties in that Fargo lineup against a lefty pitcher. Fastball outside corner for a strike from Hoganson, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. So Kelvin Ziegler, in going with the bullpen day, decides to start with a left-hander against lefties to try to keep post 2 off balance. The 2-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball out towards second. 3-hopper to Dylan Kuntz, who has it cleanly. Over to first by a half step. They'll get Jace Dew, and out number 1 recorded on the 4-3 put out. Bring Cole Hage to the plate for post 2. Have a suspicion, I can't confirm this, but a suspicion that Jace Dew would be the grandson of Jim Dew, who was a very long time head football coach at Valley City State. I saw him here watching the game yesterday in his Viking apparel. He's a Hall of Famer over in Valley City, and I know that he's got some family in Fargo. A kick and fire to Cole Hage, and a curveball misses in the dirt. Count will go to a ball and no strikes on Cole Hage. Hage at first base with some pretty good pop in his bat for a number 2 guy in the lineup. And he'll turn things around and bat from the right side. Hoganson out of the wind, delivers 1-0. Curveball blasted to left field and deep. Back after it, Carolyn at the wall, it's gone. Cole Hage with a solo home run on the second pitch he sees, and post 2 will take a 1-0 lead. We had just mentioned that Hage has some pop in his bat for a number 2 guy, and he got a fastball up belt high and just unloaded upon it. He was looking for that pitch. He got it, and all left fielder Zach Carolyn could do was take a couple of steps, look up, and watch it fly over the wall. 1-0 lead for Fargo post 2 after their second hitter of the game. Zach Kluvers will step in, and we'll see how Jackson Hoganson responds. First pitch to Kluvers, a fastball away, and it's a ball and no strikes on Zach Kluvers, the post 2 shortstop. So post 2 striking first blood, and you know that might be the advantage of being the visiting team in this situation. You start off with plenty of momentum. Fastball rolled out towards shortstop. Gloved cleanly there by Musilar. He throws low across the diamond, but a good stretch by Grabansky over at first to pull it in. Out number 2 recorded. That's a pretty good recovery for Jackson Hoganson. We mentioned in our keys to the game and the pregame report that it's very important for Grand Forks to stay out of the post 2 big inning. They just don't want to see something like that happen. You give up the solo shot, you come back and get a rollout, and see if you can't just take a breath and slow things down as Drew Sandy, another accomplished bat, a lefty, steps in for Fargo post 2. First pitch to him is a curveball for a strike at the belt. And it's no balls and a strike on Drew Sandy. Both Drew and Zach were members of that Fargo South Shanley hockey team that rose to prominence throughout the course of the last hockey season. The 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball back towards short. Musilar has it eat him up a little bit, but he's got it. Has to throw quickly across the diamond. He's got Sandy again by a half step. And a parallel rollouts to the shortstop will end the inning for Fargo post 2. But they
KNOX presents a coronavirus reminder. Don't leave home without your mask. We're not saying they actually do it.
Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games on the Magnitude Sports Media Network are available on demand on our website within a couple hours, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature, which puts instant replay instantly into your hands. You can watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, rewatch a big play or score, and then at any time, return to live action simply by clicking live. Now you don't have to miss your son's game-winning goal or your daughter's set sealing a serve. Thanks for watching the Magnitude Sports Media. Looking for a new home? Make home happen this summer by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender. Three Lions Pub is now back to full menus, open 7 days a week once again. Plus, they're kid-friendly until 9 p.m. every night with a brand new kids menu. Stop in and ask one of the friendly servers about the daily drink and food specials. Three Lions Pub is now open Sundays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursdays 11 a.m. to midnight, and Friday and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Three Lions Pub in West Fargo, proudly cheering on all Fargo, West Fargo, and other area teams playing this summer on Magnitude Sports.
Well, apologies, folks, for some technical difficulties that we had, and hopefully you're back with us here on KNOX, Branson Bank and Trust, New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the first inning, Post 2 leading by a score of 1-0 after a solo home run by Cole Hage to get things started today for Fargo Post 2. And in the bottom of the first inning, we will see Jackson Hoganson, Dylan Kuntz, and Ryan Muselar come to the plate, and they will go up against Zach Sandy, who trots out to the hill with a 1-0 lead. He delivers down low, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Jackson Hoganson. So the lone miscue, the solo home run that was just destroyed by Cole Hage back in the first inning. Fastball at the belt for a strike from Zach Sandy, who's a right-hander, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike on Jackson Hoganson. Hoganson stands ready, 2-1 pitch, misses away, and the count now 3 balls and a strike on Hoganson. So Jackson Hoganson, who is the pitcher today, trying to lead things off and get things started in the right direction offensively to get that run back. Fastball misses low for ball 4, and he's aboard. So not a bad start for Grand Forks offensively here as Jackson Hoganson draws a walk to put himself on base, and it gives Grand Forks a runner to work with down by a score of 1-0. And Dylan Kuntz, who was the hero yesterday, as he came up with a 2 RBI single that brought in the lone runs of the game to give Grand Forks the win by a score of 2-0. He steps into the left-handed batter's box. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Zach Sandy, a real over-the-top finisher. You can see him coming to the plate hard. He's a junior, will be a senior coming up this year. When he finishes over the top strong, likes to nip at that outside corner. The 0-1 is a breaking pitch, fouled back to the screen, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on Dylan Kuntz. 74 miles per hour on that breaking pitch. That was a good 12-6 break to it as well. And one thing you saw from Zach Sandy's breaking pitch, he didn't tip it. He was able to deliver it the same way that he delivers his fastball. Good command so far. A set at the belt, and the 0-2 to Dylan Kuntz is another breaking pitch that misses away. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Dylan Kuntz. Was told last night that Feeney for Bismarck, when he was taking his warm-up tosses, hit 94 on the radar gun. Some of the toughest pitching we've seen so far yet. A 1-2 fastball in the outer half that Dylan Kuntz waves a bat at and fouls off towards the third base dugout. And it remains a ball and 2 strikes. And that was Feeney just coming in from a shortstop position and taking over the pitcher spot. Just kind of waved his arm around a little bit and immediately was in the low 90s on his warm-up tosses. A set at the belt, a check of the runner by Sandy. Hoganson at first base. He'll dive back to first as they make a move. And that's Zach Sandy throwing over to Cole Hage. Hoganson hasn't really stretched his lead much in the tournament. When he's been on base yesterday, we didn't see him really trying to get too aggressive. 1-2, curveball rolled up the middle slowly. It's gloved by the second baseman, Drew Sandy. A flip to Cougars for 1, over to first base in time for a nifty double play. That's a tough play to make for Post 2. You need some athleticism and some great timing in order to get that done. That little ball up the middle rolled basically right over second base. And Drew Sandy had to make a long run. He actually made the flip to shortstop Zach Kluvers, while Sandy was himself on the shortstop side a second, but was still able to make a good flip on it and complete the double play. Ryan Muselar swings and drifts one out towards second base in the air. Sandy comes on to make the catch. It's a pop out for out number 3. And after the leadoff walk was issued by Zach Sandy, Grand Forks goes away in order, nothing across to follow in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no one left on. And we have a 1-0 lead for Post 2 over Grand Forks on our Hugo's Low scoreboard after an inning of work here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck. You're listening to State AA baseball coverage on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network.
Sitting here talking to our area Allstate agent, Fred Hage. Fred, insurance is never an easy thing to talk about or understand. What do you and your team do to make this a simpler process?
That's exactly right. Insurance can be complicated and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let my team educate you, protect you, and insure you the way you should be insured. Please give me a call today at 701-356-3665 or stop by one of my 3 area locations to better serve you. Allstate Fred Hage Agency.
Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games on the Magnitude Sports Media Network are available on demand on our website within a couple hours, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature, which puts instant replay instantly into your hands. You can watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, rewatch a big play or score, and then at any time, return to live action simply by clicking live. Now you don't have to miss your son's game-winning goal, your daughter's set stealing ace serve. Thanks for watching the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Welcome back to Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck. We're through an inning of work in the quarterfinals of this State AA Senior Babe Ruth Baseball Tournament. Fargo Post 2 leading Grand Forks by a score of 1-0 on a solo home run by Cole Hage. The lone run so far in the game, the lone hit so far in the game. Post 2 back to the plate with Zach Sandy, Caden Headley, and Mike Hallquist, 5, 6, and 7. Due up in the Post 2 lineup, they'll take on Jackson Hoganson, who goes into his second inning of work, giving up the big home run, couple of ground ball outs. Besides that, a slow curve for a strike on the outside corner. And Sandy finds himself down 0-1 to lead things off for Post 2 in the second. Been a steady variety of breaking pitches, off-speed pitches from Hoganson so far today. The 0-1, a fastball up, and a wave and a miss by Sandy. The count goes to 0-2. Good start by Hoganson on this at-bat. Nipped at that outside corner, got ahead, and then came with some high heat that Zach Sandy couldn't hold up on. Lefty versus lefty again here. And the 0-2 pitch just missed outside. Count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Couple of calls there from the Grand Forks faithful here, trying to lure that one along into a strike if they could get it. Hoganson kicks and fires 1-2 to Zach Sandy. Slow curve, got him swinging, strike 3. First strikeout this afternoon for Jackson Hoganson, and nicely thrown as well. A couple of really solid curveballs on the outside corner, lefty versus lefty. And to Caden Headley, the center fielder for Post 2, trying to get things started here in the top of the second inning. Look in by Hoganson. He's got what he's looking for. And the pitch to Headley is a fastball high and away. The count will go to a ball and no strikes on Caden Headley. 1-0 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard on the solo home run by Cole Hage. Second at-bat of the game for Post 2. 1-0 pitch, fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Winner moves on to tomorrow. They'll get either the 2 or 3 seed. The 2 seed is Bismarck. The 3 seed is West Fargo. A look in, and the 2-0 pitch to Headley. Fastball, he'll swing and cap it off to the third base dugout. And that'll bring the count to 2 balls and a strike now on Caden Headley. Got a youngster bringing a foul ball up here to the press box. They've got a nice little thing going on up here. 50-cent pieces. You don't see those in circulation very often. But they've got a bunch of them for the young kids to bring up the foul balls that they dig out in the out-of-play area and bring them up to the box. 2-1 pitch to Headley, slow curve. He rips it out to center, but a good jump by Parker Monet. And Monet's got it about midway out for out number 2. You've seen it thus far, Jackson Hoganson. I mean, these first 6 at-bats have really been the tail of the tape of what he's going to give you today for Grand Forks. He's going to have to pitch to contact. He's got a strikeout. He's got 3 ground ball outs. That was a fly out, and then, of course, the home run. And once in a while, a ball's going to be hit hard. Most of the time, it won't be. Fastball high and away, count to a ball and no strikes on Mike Hallquist. Hallquist, the number 7 man in the order for Post 2, third baseman. These off-speed pitches are tough to really get a lot of bat into. Swinging a ground ball, hard hit. Nice backhanded stab by Muselar in the hole, but a throw across the diamond that's offline. Joey Grabansky has to drift himself up the first base line and make a backhanded play to keep that from going to the fence. And we'll see how they score it. would likely think that would be a base hit. There was some pretty good speed from Hallquist going up the line, but it looks as though they're going to charge Ryan Muselar with an error. So Muselar, perhaps on some tough scoring, will be charged for an error, and that will allow Mike Hallquist to reach at first base. Sam Mosier will come to the plate, the right fielder, and a fastball called for a strike on the inside corner. To the right-handed hitting Mosier, the count, no balls and a strike. That is some pretty tough scoring. Muselar had to make a great backhand stab just to get to the ball and then had to rush his throw, but they feel that play should have been made. Swinging a high fly ball in foul territory down the left field line. That will drift in front of Zach Carolyn and fall foul. And the count now no balls and 2 strikes, I believe, on Sam Mosier. Danny Boutain is due up next for post 2, the catcher for Fargo. That would bring them through their lineup for the first time. A look in by Jackson Hoganson, trying to find a sign against Sam Mosier. Lead away from first base for Hallquist. Decent lead, he's holding. And a pitch low, buckled the knees on Sam Mosier. He took a long look at it. Count will go to a ball and 2 strikes on Sam Mosier. Lead away from first again for Hallquist. A look that way. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball down the first base line, knocked down by Grabanski. He's got plenty of time to pick it up and step on the bag for the out. Sam Mosier will roll out to first base, and the final out of the inning is recorded. The error by Ryan Muselar that was tough scoring, but a base runner stranded. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 left, and we've played an inning and a half. Score remains. Fargo Post 2-1, Grand Forks nothing on the Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard. We'll continue with State AA Senior Babe Ruth Baseball next on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
It seems around here every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, to compete, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. They know sports aren't just about building skill and strength, but about building character. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
What does it mean to be in good hands? It means to get an expert agent who's in it for the long haul. We'll get to know you and be there for you as your coverage needs change. I'm your area Allstate agent, Fred Hage. Let my team and I give you a free, no obligation, personalized insurance proposal and see for yourself what it means to be in good hands. Give us a call today at the Allstate Fred Hage Agency or stop by to our new West Fargo location at the intersection of Veterans and 32nd Avenue. Allstate Fred Hage Agency with 3 area locations to better serve you.
Joey Grabanski leads things off for Grand Forks in the bottom of the second. He swings and fouls one back behind the plate. The count will go to no balls and a strike. 1-0 in favor of Fargo Post 2 over Grand Forks. Our timeouts this afternoon during our broadcast of high school baseball brought to you by Lake Region State College. We change lives, and Atlas Auto. Hard hit ground ball to shortstop off the bat of Joey Grabanski. Zach Kluvers has it, throws across the diamond in time. Grabanski's out 6-3 for the putout. Out number 1 recorded, and Parker Monet will come to the plate. Lake Region State College, we change lives, the premier training facility throughout the region for law enforcement agents. You'll get the education along with the experience and training you need to be employment ready in law enforcement, and they're hiring all the time. Lake Region State College in Devils Lake at lrsc.edu. Fastball misses low and in on center fielder Parker Monet, and the count goes to a ball and no strikes. Monet standing ready. Zach Sandy works quickly. The 1-0, swinging a rip down the third baseline, but foul. And that'll level the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Timeout's also brought to you by Atlas Auto. Find your next car at Atlas Auto. Use the Atlas to find your next vehicle. Atlas Auto in Grand Forks. Sandy taking a look in, and the 1-1 to Monet, swinging a ground ball that may have got him in the foot. And then heads up the third base line, foul again. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Parker Monet. Center fielder, Parker trying to get the bat moving. He's had a frustrating year offensively. 1-2 pitch to him. Fastball just missed low, and the count will level. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talking with Kelvin Ziegler before the tournament, he mentioned that Parker had struggled to put the ball in play as much as he'd like to as the leadoff man. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a little flare foul down the right field line. That'll get out of play. And the count remains 2-2. And so they move Parker Monet not down in the lineup, but to a place where they can take a little bit more advantage of his talents. Little pop in the bat. We saw him walk off against Fargo South in the high school season a couple of years ago. He swings and misses at a 2-2 pitch and goes down on strikes for the first strikeout of Zach Sandy's day. Healthy cut, but again, Monet struggling to come up with contact. 2 away. Base is empty here in the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 post 2. And Brody Sorensen, the third baseman, who got the win as a pitcher yesterday, steps in. He swings and blasts one to left. It's at Jace Dew. A couple of steps in the left field gap. Jace Dew able to make the play. Brody Sorensen hits the first pitch to him. Flies out to left field, and Grand Forks goes away in order, nothing across. In the home half of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no one left. We're through 2 complete here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck. Score remains Fargo post 2-1 and Grand Forks nothing. This is State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games on the Magnitude Sports Media Network are available on demand on our website within a couple hours, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature, which puts instant replay instantly into your hands. You can watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, rewatch a big play or score, and then at any time, return to live action simply by clicking live. Now you don't have to miss your son's game-winning goal or your daughter's set stealing ace serve. Thanks for watching the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Three Lions Pub is now back to full menus, open 7 days a week once again. Plus, they are kid-friendly until 9 p.m. every night with a brand new kids menu. Stop in and ask one of the friendly servers about the daily drink and food specials. Three Lions Pub is now open Sundays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursdays 11 a.m. to midnight, and Friday and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Three Lions Pub in West Fargo, proudly cheering on all Fargo, West Fargo, and other area teams playing this summer on Magnitude Sports.
Our scoring summary is brought to you today by RBB Electric in Grand Forks. RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online as well. RBBelectric.com. That's RBBelectric.com. They bring you our scoring summary. A solo home run for Fargo Post 2. They lead it by a score of 1-0 as we go to the third. Cole Hage with the solo shot. A run on a hit for Post 2. No runs, no hits, and an error so far for Grand Forks. And your score is 1-0. That's our scoring summary brought to you by RBB Electric in Grand Forks. And a 1-0 pitch upcoming to Danny Boutain, who leads things off for Post 2 in the top of the third. The 1-0 from Hoganson, a curveball that rides high. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Boutain. Not really a bad run through the top of the order, or the first trip through of the order for Jackson Hoganson so far today. 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball high, goes to 3-0 on Boutain. He hasn't walked anybody, at least up until this point. Has struck out 1, has pitched to some decent contact. Defense has made the plays behind him, but the Cole Hage home run definitely stands out. That jumped off the bat. 3-0 pitch, curveball, ball 4. That one stayed high, and Danny Boutain is aboard with a free pass. First walk issued by Jackson Hoganson this afternoon. And the leadoff man is aboard for Post 2 for the first time, as they'll go to their leadoff man in the order, Jace Dew, for the second time around. Dew, a ground ball out to Dylan Kuntz at second base, his first time up, 0 for 1 this afternoon. Hoganson deals. Dew shows bunt, pulls it back pick attempt down to first base, and gliding back in on his feet is Danny Boutain, the runner. A little bit of catcalling coming from the crowd there, as well as there were some timing issues down at first base. I think Grabansky thought that Boutain would get back faster than he did. Didn't really apply much of a tag. Had a chance. 1-0 pitch, fastball high and tight on Jace Dew, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Another very nice day here at the ballpark in Bismarck. Bismarck Municipal Ballpark, they've dressed it up as they have the Bismarck Larkson Town out of the Northwoods League, a very competitive summer collegiate baseball league. 2-0 pitch high, count goes to 3-2, or rather 3-0. On the mural outside, they have some of their Northwoods League alumni, and there are some guys that you see in the major leagues right now that are alumni out of the Northwoods League that have had brilliant careers at the major league level. 3-0 pitch on the way inside, ball 4, 4-pitch walk to Jace Dew, and Jackson Hoganson's in some trouble here in the third. Back-to-back walks will put runners on first and second with Cole Hage, the man who took him yard the last time up. And Hage is coming back to the plate, and that's going to bring Kelvin Ziegler out of the dugout to have a little conversation with his infield. It's a short conversation. And this is very likely along the lines of, hey, Jackson, we need you in the strike zone at this point, because it was a very brief convo. The team already going back to their positions. But here comes Cole Hage, 1 for 1 with a solo home run over the left field wall back in the first inning. That gave Fargo Post 2 the 1-0 lead that they enjoy right now. Boutain away from second, due from first. A set by Hoganson, and the pitch, swinging a high fly ball foul down the first base line and out of play. And the count 0-1 on Cole Hage. And you could see in Hage's swing, he feels like he's got Jackson Hoganson timed up pretty well. That was a very confident swing. A lot behind it. He stands ready. Hoganson set, a look back towards second. Another check of that runner. The 0-1 on the way, swinging a blast into left field. That'll drop for a base hit. They're going to wave around Boutain. Up with a baseball, Carolyn. Throw misses the cutoff man in the infield. No play at the plate. Anyway, Boutain with a head-first slide comes in for the second run of the game, and Post 2 will take a 2-0 lead. Cole Hage is swinging the bat in these first two at-bats like he knows exactly what pitch is coming from Jackson Hoganson. He hit the home run over the wall easily in left field. That just jumped off the bat, and he had two swings in that at-bat, and they were both extremely confident swings that he went after some offerings from Hoganson. Now, can Grand Forks avoid the big inning? One already in, nobody out. Zach Kluver's at the plate with two aboard. Bunt is shown and line down the third baseline. Up with it, Sorensen. He's not in time across the diamond. Great bunt by Zach Kluver's. It hung up in the infield grass. Sorensen got to it as quickly as he could. Made a great throw, but Kluver's with tremendous speed will beat it out. It's an infield hit, and the sacks are loaded full of Post 2 runners here in the third inning. And now Drew Sandy coming to the plate, and this is going to be a key sequence in this baseball game for the Blue Devils. Bases loaded, nobody out, already one in the inning. You're trailing 2-0, and the cleanup man aboard, again with nobody out. A look in by Hoganson. The pitch to Sandy is a fastball low, and it's a ball and no strikes on Drew Sandy. Kluver is now 1 for 2 on the day after grounding out to the shortstop back in the first. Cole Hage 2 for 2. We mentioned that. Sandy's 0 for 1. Drew Sandy, that is, with a ground ball out also to shortstop. Pitch on the way to Sandy. Fastball nips the outside corner for a strike, and it's now a ball and a strike. The middle infield for Grand Forks is back at double play depth. The corners are in on the grass, both Sorensen and Grabanski at third and first respectively. They would come home on a ground ball to them. Otherwise, Grand Forks will surrender the run to get a double play. The 1-1 pitch to Sandy. Swinging a ground ball to Grabanski. He's got it. Down to home plate for out number 1. No chance to turn the double play, but a nice play by Joey Grabanski as they will get the force on Jace Dew at the plate to keep another run off the board. Drew Sandy will reach on a fielder's choice. Kluver's to second. Hage to third. Dew is out 3-2 for out number 1. And there's the first deep breath that the Grand Forks faithful will take here as they get an out. Double play ball gets them out of the inning with only one in. Zach Sandy at the plate, a strikeout victim his first time around. He swings and grounds one to Dylan Kuntz. Could be two. He's got it to Musilar, who trips on second base coming across the diamond, ends up throwing the ball in the dirt. May not have got the double play on Zach Sandy anyway, but Musilar hanging up on his back foot, getting across second base, and it kind of drew his foot in his throw into the ground. A run will score as Cole Hage will come in from third, and that makes it 3-0 in favor of Post 2. Kluver's on the way to third. Drew Sandy is out at second base. That'll be 4-6 for out number 1. And Zach Sandy will reach on a fielder's choice. They're at the edges for Post 2 with 2 outs, and now Caden Headley, who flew out to center field, is back at the plate. Hoganson delivers, swinging a ground ball. Jackson knocks it down on the pitcher's mound, picks it up, throws across the diamond in time. Caden Headley will ground out to the pitcher. And the final out recorded, but Post 2 will send 7 to the plate in the inning. A couple of walks come back to Hurd along with a couple of base hits, including the bunt single. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We've played 2.5. New score at Municipal Ballpark here in Bismarck. It's Fargo Post 2 3 and Grand Forks nothing. This is AA Senior Babe Ruth State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Through Lines Pub is now back to full menus, open 7 days a week once again. Plus, they are kid-friendly until 9 p.m. every night with a brand new kids menu. Stop in and ask one of the friendly servers about the daily drink and food specials. Three Lines Pub is now open Sundays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursdays 11 a.m. to midnight, and Friday and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Three Lines Pub in West Fargo, proudly cheering on all Fargo, West Fargo, and other area teams playing this summer on Magnitude Sports. Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games on the Magnitude Sports Media Network are available on demand on our website within a couple hours, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature, which puts instant replay instantly into your hands. You can watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, rewatch a big play or score, and then at any time, return to live action simply by clicking live. Now you don't have to miss your son's game-winning goal or your daughter's set sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Our coverage of Post-2 tournament baseball, I should say rather Post-6 tournament baseball, and the Blue Devils tournament baseball is brought to you by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. And Lithia Toyota, from our lot to your driveway. Visit Lithia Toyota in Grand Forks for your next vehicle purchase. 3-0. Grand Forks trailing to Fargo Post-2 as we start the bottom of the third. Zach Carolyn due up, the bottom third due up for Grand Forks. Zach Sandy delivers in the dirt for ball one. It's a ball and no strikes on Zach Carolyn. Carolyn in the 7th spot. Kelvin Ziegler said he really likes a strong 7-hitter in his lineup. 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul off the end of Carolyn's bat to the right. And the count will level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Carolyn playing in left field today. He was the catcher yesterday. Brady Lewandowski, who's on deck, has put the equipment on here this afternoon. 1-1 pitch to Carolyn, swinging a foul again. The count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Zach would be one of the pitchers that Grand Forks would try to ride throughout the remainder of the tournament. Where? Remains to be seen. You would figure their next pitcher, no matter what today, would be Zach Ziegler. The 1-2 on the way. Pitch misses low and away from Zach Sandy, who kind of fell off the mound. He turned around and took a look at the pitcher's mound. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carolyn steps in, taking a look in for his sign, Zach Sandy. Zach to Zach here, and the pitch. Fastball misses low and away, and it's full on Zach Carolyn at 3 balls and 2 strikes. For a while this year, Brady Lewandowski was 1 for 1 with a home run. His first at-bat after waiting a few games to get an at-bat was a home run in a pinch hitting performance. 3-2, swinging a foul back to the screen by Carolyn. For those of you on KNOX looking for Minnesota Twins baseball, you will hear the Twins. We will join Twins baseball following the completion of this matchup today. They're scheduled for a 5:30 pregame report, and we'll get into it at some point. 3-2 pitch to Carolyn again. Check swing. He's called for strike 3. Carolyn didn't like it, or at least had a reaction like he didn't like it. I'm not sure where he thought that pitch missed as Zach Sandy records his 2nd strikeout today. But that pitch looked like a pretty good pitch on the inner half, and it may just have locked Zach Carolyn up. So 1 out in the inning. Outside of the walk to Jackson Holdingson to lead things off, we've seen 6 in a row retired now. Lewandowski swings and flies 1 out to right. Sam Mosier drifting towards the right field line makes the catch, and Lewandowski will fly out for the 2nd out of the inning. That will be 7 in a row retired, and through 2 2/3 innings, Zach Sandy has faced the minimum. Hoganson walked to start the game for Grand Forks, but then Dylan Kuntz into the 4-6-3 double play started a run where Post-2 has faced the minimum, and now Ross Meyer to the plate out of the right field spot and takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Ross Meyer. 3-0 Fargo Post-2 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Here in the bottom of the third, base is empty, 2 out. Ross Meyer chops one up the middle. Long run for Drew Sandy, again behind second base, throws across, and they've got it just in time to get Ross Meyer for the out. Drew Sandy's made a couple of very effective plays at second base today, and through the first time through the order, Zach Sandy faces the minimum of Grand Forks batters as they go away 0 across in the home half of the third. We've played 3. Score here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck remains. Grand Forks down to Fargo Post 2, 3-0. This is state tournament baseball. on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack in the Midwest. We thank you for your continued trust in Giants to provide you the best quality sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pistachios, and our delicious cashews.
Been quiet on the base paths so far for Grand Forks today, and the solo home run got things started for Fargo Post 2. Post 2 now leads it by a score of 3-0 after they played a pair of runs in the third, and they'll bring Mike Hallquist to the plate for the second time today to lead things off. Bottom third duo against Jackson Hoganson for Grand Forks. Hoganson delivers a curveball that misses high, and the count will go to a ball and no strikes on Mike Hallquist. 3-0 Fargo Post 2 over Grand Forks on our Hugo's Low scoreboard here in the top of the fourth inning. From Bismarck, Hoganson delivers 1-0, fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes. Sun beginning to break out from behind the crowd, or the clouds here in Bismarck. We've had a very nice crowd for these games, not overpowering on the crowd, but here at Municipal Ballpark, you can social distance to your heart's content. Plenty of great seats here at the ballpark. Pitch misses low and away. Count will go to 3 balls and no strikes on Mike Hallquist. Hallquist standing ready. A look in by Jackson Hoganson, and the 3-0 pitch. Fastball for a strike, outer half. And it's 3 balls and a strike. This ballpark not really designed in the manner that Newman Outdoor Field or anything like that is, but there are a lot of Northwoods League's parks that really use this model. 3-1 pitch on the way. Curveball outside corner for strike 2. Nice nip. Count goes full at 3-2. A couple of years ago, I had a chance to visit the park that they have in Eau Claire, Wisconsin for the Eau Claire Express, a Northwoods League team. Looks very similar to that ballpark. 3-2 pitch up high, ball 4. Mike Hallquist works the third walk issued by Jackson Hoganson this afternoon. And the leadoff man is aboard for Post 2 for the second straight inning. They sent 7 to the plate back in the third. Sam Mosier will come to the plate for his second at-bat. Mosier 0 for 1 with a ground ball out to first base. His first time up back in the second. Hoganson a look over towards first. And the pitch on the way. Bunt is shown, misses inside. Lewandowski up with it, looking down towards first as there was a bit of a drift by Mike Hallquist running down there. Chases him back. And the count will go to a ball and no strikes. A step in by Mosier. Hoganson taking a look across once again and delivers 1-0. Bunt is shown again. Pitch misses high. Lewandowski with a back pick, but Grabanski, sensing where Mike Hallquist was, doesn't even make the tag, just kind of looks into the plate. Lewandowski doesn't play a lot of catcher, and for him to step in a state tournament game and take a look down and make a confident throw, 2-0 pitch, misses inside again. Another square to bunt, another retreat by Mosier, and again a pitch out of the zone. And Jackson Hoganson falls behind Sam Mosier, 3 balls and no strikes. Hoganson walked the first too many faced in the third. 2 runs came across, in trouble here again. 3-0 is high and away for ball 4. Hallquist on to second. Sam Mosier will pick up the 4th walk issued by Jackson Hoganson today. Post 2, perhaps looking for a chance to kind of break things open here. They had the bases loaded with nobody out after plating a run back in the third and only managed to bring 1 more in. And so Luke Rusted down in the coaching box at third might be thinking an opportunity was missed there. And maybe a little bit more pressure to produce here as Danny Boutain steps in, tries to bunt, and that bunt hit him in the leg as he stepped out towards the front of the plate. He'll be ruled in the box when it made contact with him, so a foul ball And the count is no balls and a strike. But Mike Hallquist from second, Sam Mosier from first. A 3-0 lead for Post 2. And Post 2 now with 2 men aboard. There's a shift on in the infield here. Second baseman Dylan Kuntz way over towards first, anticipating a bunt on the rotation play. The bunt goes down the third base line. Hoganson's got the ball, throws to first in time for the out. Runners will advance to second and third. Good sacrifice by Danny Boutain. And the play will be 1-4 on the putout for the out. But Hallquist on to third and Mosier to second. That'll bring Jace Dew to the plate. And we'll see how Grand Forks decides to defend this. They're going to bring the infield in at all 4 positions. Jace Dew with very good speed, a leadoff hitter, and a chance to just put the ball in play, and he can make something happen with a lot of pressure on the defense. First pitch to him from Hoganson. He swings and lines it to shallow center. Parker Monet's on with it. Makes a running stab towards the catch. Makes the catch. Throw comes to the plate. It will not be in time. Tagging and scoring from third is Mike Hallquist. And Post 2 will take a 4-0 lead. Give Parker Monet some credit on that throw. He came up strong. He played that extremely well in center. He took a couple of steps back from the baseball so he could make the running lead into the catch and get everything behind that throw, and it was good enough to allow the ball to go to the plate. Joey Grabanski decided not to cut it off in the middle infield, but just a little bit offline and not quite quick enough to catch Hallquist. So Hallquist scores on a sacrifice fly from Jace Dew. He'll drive one in. Cole Hage, who's 2 for 2 today and has just owned Jackson Hoganson, steps in and takes a fastball in the dirt for ball 1. Cole Hage blasted a solo home run over the 340 sign out in left field in his first at-bat back in the first, and then singled and later scored in the third. He stands ready with a runner in scoring position at second, 2 outs. The 1-0 to him. Fastball just misses away. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Cole Hage. Grand Forks crowd wanted that pitch, but it's one of those things where when, as an umpire, you know what Hage has done, you anticipate a pitcher trying to nip at him a little bit, and maybe you got to do more to prove that strike. 2-0 is a swing and a ground ball past Brody Sorensen at third. Drifts into left field for a base hit. Zach Carolyn's up with it, gets it back in quickly, and runners will be on the corners. That's the 3rd hit today for Cole Hage. And again, very confident swings at the plate. You would think that he played baseball against Jackson Hoganson in batting practice throughout the year. He has just been on top of his swing here this afternoon and is produced every time up. Sorensen had a chance at that, but that took a really bad hop over his glove as he was leaning to his left. So with runners on the corners, 2 outs, Zach Kluvers, 1 for 2 on the day, stands in for Post 2. Hoganson delivers to him, fastball high and away, and it's a ball and no strikes on Zach Kluvers. Post 2 leading 4-0, another run in here in the 4th. A pair of walks again coming back to hurt Jackson Hoganson as Mike Hallquist, who scored the lone run of the 4th inning, received the free pass to get it started. 1-0 to Kluvers. Fastball caught the outside corner for a strike. And the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike. Briefly, the scoreboard showed 2-0. That one was really, really close. They might have been anticipating there, but strike ruled by our home plate umpire. Runners away from first and third. Hoganson will make a token move over to first just to chase Hage back to the bag. And the count remains 1-1 on Zach Kluvers. Kluvers grounded out to short in the first. Singled, was stranded at third, back in the third. Hoganson a look, and the pitch to Kluvers. Fastball misses away. 2 balls, 1 strike now on Zach Kluvers. Jackson Hoganson walking towards the base of the mound to take the baseball. A slow walk back up onto the mound. He'll come set at the chest to look over towards first. 2-1 delivery, swinging a foul. Back behind the plate, count now 2-2. One of the things you also get out of Jackson Hoganson is really kind of a lack of emotion. You never really see Jackson Hoganson in a bad way, if you will, to a place where you can't really tell what's happening. And in a big game like this, that can be an advantage when you're trying to stay out of the big inning. A guy who can keep it in check. Another move over to first base. Hage dives back in. Still at third is Sam Mosier. Cole Hage with his 3rd hit of the day over at first. 1 in the inning, 2 outs. Runners at the corners. And a 2-2 pitch on the way to Zach Kluvers. Hoganson delivers, runner goes, pitches high, throw out to second base, ends up being kicked out into center field on the slide by Hage. Delayed double steal will bring Sam Mosier to the plate, and it's 5-0 post 2. Hage will get credit with a stolen base, and on the throw, we see Sam Mosier coming in from third. So they gave Lewandowski, the Blue Devils did, the opportunity to try to throw Cole Hage out. And the throw wasn't bad, but not quite where it needed to be, and then Hage's slide knocked it into center field, and on a 3-2 offering, a swing and a high fly ball foul that gets out of play in left field past Zach Carolyn, and we'll have another 3-ball, 2-strike count coming up for Zach Kluvers. Again, though, you see the back-to-back walks from Hoganson, and those are the 2 runs that have been scored by post 2 in the inning. Hoganson will look back, and another 3-2 pitch to Kluvers. High, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk of the inning, and the 5th of the day by Jackson Hoganson. So 2 on, 2 in. Drew Sandy now coming to the plate. And you're at that point in the game, if you're head coach Kelvin Ziegler, where in all reality, you don't really come out of this too quickly now. You got to start hedging your bets. A swing and a high fly ball into the right center field gap and hit well. Rossmeyer back after it. He won't get there. It bounces all the way to the ivy. Hage is around to score. Kluvers will come in to score. Drew Sandy digs for third. He's in standing with a 3-bagger, drives in 2, and the lead springs to 7-0 in favor of Fargo post 2. Drew Sandy with a 2 RBI triple into deep right field. Rossmeyer was playing fairly well back as it was, but that ball over his head. Kelvin Ziegler will take the slow walk out to the mound. We may have seen the end of Jackson Hoganson's afternoon as Zach Sandy is set to come to the plate. And the changes are going to be made. Zach Carolyn's going to be sent over to right field. Jackson Hoganson will come out of the game, and we're going to see a change by Grand Forks. Grand Forks is going to go to the bullpen with Jack Jenke coming out to take over the pitching duties for Grand Forks, but he'll inherit a bit of a mess. Runner will be on at third, 4 in the inning, and it's 7-0 in favor of Fargo post 2 as we continue here in the top of the 4th. We'll have a timeout for the pitching change. Our timeouts today here on KNOX are brought to you in part by Applegreen Construction, Lithia Toyota, also by Lake Region State College. We change lives, and Atlas Auto. Find your next car at Atlas Auto in Grand Forks. 7-0 post 2. They continue to hit when we come back with Jenke on the hill for Grand Forks on the Franson Bank and Trust. New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games on the Magnitude Sports Media Network are available on demand on our website within a couple hours, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature, which puts instant replay instantly into your hands. You can watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, rewatch a big play or score, and then at any time, return to live action simply by clicking live. Now you don't have to miss your son's game-winning goal, your daughter's set sealing a serve. Thanks for watching the Magnitude. Looking for a new home? Make home happen this summer by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Mail.
Jack Jenke takes over and delivers high on Zach Sandy, and the count will go to a ball and no strikes. Correction, that pitch called for a strike. My apologies. 0-1 the count on Zach Sandy, who bats with a runner on third in the form of Drew Sandy. Fastball misses away. Count levels at 1-1. So Zach Sandy at the plate, 4 in the inning for Fargo post 2. They lead 7-0. Jackson Hoganson chased after 3 2/3 innings of work. Couple of defensive changes that we'll pick up along the way. And a pitch bounces in front of the plate. Lady Lewandowski can't knock it down. Trotting home will be Drew Sandy from third, and that'll make it 8-0. Wild pitch will be the result on that one, and that'll close the book on Jackson Hoganson's day today. Hoganson goes 3 2/3, gives up 8 runs. 7 will be earned on 5 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 5. That was the last runner that was his responsibility in the form of Sandy. So now the base is empty, 8-0 post 2. And Sandy looks at a 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses away, and the count's now 3 balls and a strike. Jack Janke comes in the spot that Ross Meyer occupied, I believe. They move Zach Carolyn over to right field, and Jackson Hoganson will go out to his natural position of left field when he's not pitching. 3-1 opportunity. Fastball called for a strike at the knees on the inner half, and the count's now 3-2 on Zach Sandy. And I don't know if Jack Janke would be out there really for a long time anyway. That's strategic in the way that they change it with Ross Meyer coming out, as he's not due to hit for another inning or so. Swinging a flare out towards left field. It'll drop right next to the line and then gets beyond Hoganson. Not too far beyond him. He's able to reach back and pick up the baseball, but it's enough for Zach Sandy to move on to second base. Probably going to be a single and an error. That would be the second error against Grand Forks this afternoon. We'll see if they put another error up on the board. Hoganson got over to the line, and that ball kind of short-hopped underneath his glove. They haven't put an error on the board as of yet, so perhaps that'll go as a true double for Zach Sandy. He stands on second. And the inning continues. 9th man to come to the plate in the inning is Caden Headley for Fargo post 2. A look back by Janke, the pitch, fastball high and tight. Count goes to a ball and no strikes. Getting back to the substitution, so Jack Janke coming into the game. He's pitched well throughout the year. He takes Ross Meyer's spot in the order. Janke likely will not hit today. When Ross Meyer's spot does come back around, if it does, you would probably see a pitch hitter for Janke and then Grand Forks go to another pitcher. They simply will not use the 30 pitches here between now and the end of the game for any of these substitutes to make them ineligible to come back and pitch tomorrow or again on Friday. So by moving him into that number 9 spot, with the leadoff man due up in the 4th, you really preserve Janke's arm for future usage here, and you don't have to see him come to the plate. Swing and a miss. Going down after a pitch was Caden Headley, comes up empty, and the count is a ball and no strikes. Rather, a ball and a strike on Caden Headley. Headley, a fly out to center, ground ball to first base. He's 0 for 2 this afternoon. Runner on second, 5 into the inning. Swing and a miss, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes to Caden Headley. Janke trying to get Grand Forks out of an inning that has seen 5 runners come across the plate on the benefit of just 3 base hits, but a couple of big walks in that process have been the difference. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball called, strike 3. Headley's locked up on strikes. First strikeout this afternoon from Jack Janke, and the side is retired, but 9 hit and 5 score. 5 runs come in on 3 base hits, no errors, 1 left. New score at Municipal Ballpark here in Bismarck through 3.5. Your score is Fargo Post 2 8 and Grand Forks nothing. We'll continue with Post 6, or we should say Grand Forks Blue Devil coverage in the State AA Senior Babe Ruth Baseball Tournament next on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Do you need a sales sign for your store? Maybe displays to light up your booth at trade shows? Or perhaps you are looking for something personal to make birthday of that special someone extra special? No matter what your need is, at Banner Buzz, we have got you covered. This is how it works. Choose from thousands of display products, customize your sizes, or pick from our standard options. For the design, you can create it using our user-friendly design tools, upload your own artwork, or ask our experienced designers to design it for you for free. Place your order using your credit card, and get it delivered right to your doorsteps right on time. Yes, it's that easy. What's more, our amazing customer happiness advisors are always available to answer any query or concern. So what are you waiting for? Have promotional or decoration plans? Make it visible only with Banner Buzz. To know more and get started, visit bannerbuzz.com today.
We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, leading things off for Grand Forks. Top of the order in Jackson Hoganson. He'll take a pitch for a strike at the knees. And the count is 0-1 on Jackson Hoganson. Zach Sandy pitching for Post 2 into his 5th inning of work, now with an 8-0 lead. He delivers a strike on the outside corner. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. 8-0 your score on the Hugo's Low scoreboard in favor of Fargo post 2 over the Grand Forks Blue Devils. Hoganson standing ready, look in, and the 0-2 from Sandy, swinging a ground ball right back up the middle. Zach Sandy able to reach above his head and snare it, then makes the underhand flip over to Drew Sandy for the out, and Hoganson is out to start the 4th. That was a hard shot right back up the middle, and Zach Sandy kind of falls off to the left-hand side with his head and chest down a little bit after delivering with that over-the-top finish that he has. He had to reach up quickly to snare that above his head, but made a very nice reaction to the baseball. And Dylan Kuntz will step in. He takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. And it's no balls and a strike to Dylan Kuntz, who rolled into a 4-6-3 double play to start his day. He is 0 for 1 this afternoon, swinging a flare that'll get fouled down the third base line. And it's no balls and 2 strikes on Dylan Kuntz. Again, the winner plays tomorrow at 5 o'clock against the winner of the upcoming game between West Fargo and Bismarck. That would be a semifinal game from the tournament. Loser plays at 11 tomorrow in do-or-die baseball. Fastball called, strike 3 right at the knees. Dylan Kuntz locked up on that one, didn't see it coming. That'll be strikeout number 3 this afternoon for Zach Sandy, who continues to have faced the minimum through 3 2/3 innings. He is not allowed a base hit. He's given up a walk that was retired in a double play. Ryan Musilar steps in and a fastball for a strike right at the knees. 0-1 on Musilar. Musilar popped out to the second baseman his first time up. Sandy takes a look in, the 0-1 pitch. Fastball just missed away. That'll level the count on Musilar at a ball and a strike. But again, so far to the plate, 11 men for Grand Forks. They've all been retired in order with the double play ball from Dylan Kuntz erasing Jackson Hoganson's leadoff walk, and that's been the only miscue so far today for Zach Sandy. Musilar with a check swing for a strike as he fouls it off. A ball and 2 strikes. Sandy looking in, a pitch away from getting his team back to the dugout. The 1-2 to Musilar. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Musilar locked up on that one as well. Didn't like it. Takes it for strike 3. Zach Sandy with 4 strikeouts has faced the minimum through 4. And Grand Forks has turned away in their half of the 4th inning. Nothing across. We go to the top of the 5th. After 4, your score here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck remains Fargo Post 2 8 and Grand Forks nothing. This is Senior Babe Ruth State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Grand Forks.
We make our way to the top of the 5th inning. Mike Hallquist set to lead things off as Post 2 batted around in their half of the 4th. Hallquist led off the 4th by drawing a walk, and he draws a ball from Jack Jenke to get started. Count a ball and no strikes on Mike Hallquist. 8-0 Post 2 as we go to the top of the 5th. Fastball high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Hallquist. 5 in the 4th, and Post 2 already with a 10-0 dispatching of their first-round opponent, Post 400, now trying to turn the trick against Grand Forks. Swing and a miss, and the count will go to 2 balls and a strike. And you'll already see a rather difficult decision here for Kelvin Ziegler, the head coach of Grand Forks, to make. Jack Jenke's one of his better hurlers. In a game where coming back will be difficult, how long do you let him go? 2-1 pitch high and away, and it's 3 balls and a strike. You don't want to get the pitch count up to the point where you would lose him for more than a day in the tournament. you'd feel like between Zach Ziegler and Zach Carolyn, you could get things nailed down tomorrow with at least enough pitching to get through, but you don't want to burn up Jenke if you don't have to in an 8-0 game, and Jenke misses on ball 4. That'll put Hallquist on by way of a free pass. That'll be the first walk issued by Jenke this afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, really, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a guy like Jet Weiss for Grand Forks come in and try to finish this thing up. And right now, Kelvin Ziegler in the third base dugout is checking through his lineup card, and he might be thinking the same thing we are as Sam Mosier comes to the plate for post 2. Hallquist a lead away from first, and the pitch from Jenke out of the slide step, a fastball high up above the belt. It's a ball and no strikes on Sam Mosier. Mosier walked and scored back in that 5-run fourth. Grounded out to first base back in the second. He's 0 for 1 officially today. Look over towards first. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging a blast out to center field. That'll drop in for a hit. Parker Monet is up with a baseball after 2 hops. He'll hold the runner to second base, but Mosier follows up the walk to Hallquist with a single of his own, his first hit today. And they're on at first and second with nobody out, and Danny Boutain set to come to the plate. And speak of the devil, Jet Weiss just came in from the bullpen for Grand Forks, so Jet Weiss was actually down in the pen while we were taking a look through that situation, and Kelvin Ziegler looking through his lineup card. So we'll see if Jet Weiss doesn't make an appearance in the game at some point. A set by Jenke, a look back at second base, and the pitch on the way to Boutain. He shows bunt, takes it away. Pitch called for a strike, and it's no balls and a strike on Danny Boutain. A walk and a run scored in the third. He laid down a sacrifice bunt to move runners along back in the fourth. Boutain has scored a run, no official at bat today. First baseman Joey Grabanski way in on the grass at first. The bunts have gone towards third so far today, though, for post 2. Another bunt shown and taken away. Count will level up at 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch misses high. We've seen post 2 more than willing to try to bunt the ball towards third, and takes a lot of control, particularly against a left-handed pitcher, to find one to square around and bunt towards third base. But it's caused some problems for Grand Forks, their ability to do so today. Bunt is shown again. 1-1 pitch called for a strike right down central. And the count now goes to a ball and 2 strikes. You can hear the sound effects in the background. Still plenty of traffic out on South Washington Street here in Bismarck, which Municipal Ballpark looks out toward as you look towards center field. On Front Avenue and South Washington Street here in the capital city. Plenty of traffic in this part of town. A look back towards second by Jenke. The 1-2, bunt is shown, it's popped in the air. Lewandowski looking for it. He was unable to locate the ball in time. Strike 3 should be the call here, as that was a bunt attempt anyway, and there's no benefit to catching the baseball after a foul ball bunt attempt in the first place. It's going to fall for strike 3. Danny Boutain will strike out. Second strikeout victim of Jenke today. Runner still at first and second. Leadoff man Jace Dew will come to the plate. 0 for 1 today with a walk, and later thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice. He also drove in a run with a sacrifice fly back in the fourth. He has an RBI. Runner away from first and second. Bunt shown by Dew and pulled away quickly. Pitch misses high. And it's a ball and no strikes on Jace Dew. On second, Mike Hallquist. Sam Mosier away from first. 8-0 Fargo post 2 on our Hugo's Low scoreboard. Jenke set. Look back at second base. The 1-0. Dew shows bunt and bunts it on a line drive foul into third base territory. Brody Sorensen jogs over to the dugout and picks it up. Brody, the day one guy for Grand Forks yesterday, 11 strikeouts for the product from Grand Forks Red River, who had a tremendous high school season. Back in the the 18-19 season was just tremendous for Red River, and had a great season this year for the Blue Devils. A set, the 1-1 pitch to Dew, lays it down up the third base line. Sorensen charging, barehands it, throws across, not in time. Dew beats it out. Infield hit for Jace Dew. Sorensen came in, barehanded the ball cleanly, threw well off his back foot. Good rotation on Dylan Kuntz coming to cover the bag, but just absolutely no chance to catch him. And that will load the bases for Cole Hage. Hage 3 for 3 with 2 singles, a solo home run. He scored 3 times today. He has just been a Blue Devils killer for post 2 today. Jenke sets. takes a look back at second. The pitch to Hage, a fastball belt high for a strike on the outside corner. And it's no balls and a strike on Cole Hage. 1 out in the inning. Middle infield for Grand Forks, still looking for the double play ball off of Hage's bat. The corners are in. They'll come to the plate. The 0-1 pitch to Hage, swinging a rip foul. The count will go to no balls and 2 strikes.
Strong top.
We'll see if anybody can get Cole Hage out. Hage started off the game with a solo home run that was known immediately off the bat. That one just jumped towards the 340 sign out in left field. And a pair of singles since then, and they've all been hit quite well. Runners from every base. They're loaded full of post 2 runners with 1 out in the inning. A look in by Jenke. The 0-2 pitch to Hage. Fastball just missed outside. Grand Forks crowd wanted it. That was in the vicinity. Tough for Hage to lay off of, but he takes it. And it's now a ball and 2 strikes. Runners their leads again. Jenke taking a look in for his sign. Jenke has his sign, sets below the belt buckle. A look in. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a high fly ball, shallow right field. Long run coming on for Zach Carolyn. He'll make the catch. Attempting to tag on the play is Hallquist. No throw to the plate. Hallquist will score. That'll make it 9-0 in favor of post 2. Sam Mosier moves on to third. Jace Dew will hold up at first base. Hage will get credit for a sacrifice fly with an RBI. He flies out to right field. And now with 2 outs in the inning and runners on the corners, that's going to bring Kelvin Ziegler out of the dugout. And I believe, well, let's see. He hasn't taken the ball from Jack Jenke as of yet. And really, I'm not sure. Jet Weiss is standing at the top of the dugout for the Blue Devils. I'm not sure if Ziegler is out to check things over with his infield before making the change or if he's going to make the change. No, he's not going to make a change. He's going to leave Jenke in the game. So Jack Jenke's going to stay in with a 9-0 game in favor of post 2. Runners will be at the corners with 2 outs. That runner at third, Sam Mosier's an important runner for post 2. They get him in. They have a chance to limit the game to 5 innings. They lead 9-0. 10-run rule is on here in state tournament play. Zach Kluvers will step in. 1 for 2 this afternoon with a single and a run scored. He singled in the third, scored in the fourth. Runners from the corners, 2 outs. Jenke delivers. Runner from first goes. The pitch is ripped foul down the third base line. And it actually brought Sam Mosier down to the ground, who had to duck out of the way to avoid being hit in the head by the rip off of Zach Kluvers' bat. Well, I would think if there was any flirting with the pitch count, I'm not sure which pitch count they're using to bring Jenke back 2 days in a row. I believe the number was 30 at one point. You couldn't go over 30. If you went over 30, you'd still be, or you went below 30, you'd still be able to pitch tomorrow. A rip towards left field off the bat of Kluvers. Long run. Jackson Hoganson's in left field to make the play. Kluvers will fly out to left field, and Fargo post 2 will be retired in their half of the 5th inning. A run does come across on 2 base hits. 2 runners are left on. We've played 4.5. New score here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck. Fargo post 2 9 and Grand Forks nothing. This is State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Whether you are looking to refinance your current mortgage and save or purchase a new home, Sean Carlson with Town & Country Credit Union can help. With over 15 years of mortgage experience, he's an expert on VA, FHA, USDA, first-time home buyer, and conventional home loans, and can help determine the best loan product to fit your needs. His borrowers agree, saying, Sean was a pleasure to work with and made the entire mortgage process easy. I highly recommend him. Ready to check out how Sean Carlson and Town & Country Credit Union can help make your financial life easy? Stop by one of the 6 convenient Fargo West Fargo locations or visit townandcountry.org today. From free checking accounts to auto loans to commercial and ag loans and, of course, home loans, Town & Country Credit Union has the low loan rates, flexible terms, low fees, and personal service you deserve. See for yourself how much you might save. Apply online today at townandcountry.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Scoring summary brought to you by RBB Electric of Grand Forks. RBB Electric is on call. They're on time and they're online. You can find them at rbbelectric.com as Joey Grabanski swings and misses on an offering from Zach Sandy. Grabanski leading things off for Grand Forks here in the bottom of the fifth, with Grand Forks trailing by a score of 9-0. Sandy delivers, swinging a ground ball towards shortstop. Two-hopper picked up by Kluvers across the diamond in time. And Grabanski is out number one here in the fifth. Scoring summary brought to you by RBB Electric. Zach Sandy has faced the minimum through 4 1/3 innings of work. Now faced 13 total batters. Grand Forks still looking for their first hit. 5 runs coming in the fourth. And walks have hurt Grand Forks today. Leadoff walks to the first 2 men in the third and fourth. And there's the first hit of the game for Grand Forks as Parker Monet will break up the no-no with a single to center. So a 1-out single to center for Parker Monet will put a base runner on for Grand Forks here in the fifth inning and bring Brody Sorensen to the plate. But again, back-to-back walks to start the third and fourth led to 2 runs in the third and 5 runs in the fourth. 9 runs on 8 hits for post 2. No runs on a hit and an error now for Grand Forks. And that's your scoring summary brought to you by RBB Electric. Fastball to Brody Sorensen, misses low and away. And the count is a ball and no strikes on Brody Sorensen. Good to see Parker Monet with a hit. Even if this game does not go Grand Forks' way, the opportunity to get him going before the game tomorrow with Minot would be a big deal. They need to get his bat producing. Minot won today 4-1 and looked like a pretty quality baseball team as they went out against Dickinson today. They've used up a couple of good pitchers, but that's a quality team that Grand Forks would face tomorrow if they can't pitch the comeback bid here in this one. High and tight to Brody Sorensen. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Brody, who flew out to left field his only time up back in the second. Unfortunately, we will not be able to bring you that game tomorrow if it is Grand Forks. In the 11 o'clock time frame, a set by Sandy. 2-0 pitch on the way. Misses low and inside. Count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. My grandfather passed away last week in Valley City, and so tomorrow the funeral service takes place in Valley City at 11 o'clock, so I'll be unable to be here tomorrow. If Grand Forks advances, I'll be back for Friday to bring you whatever game that might be. Sorensen takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count's 3 balls and a strike on Brody Sorensen. Monet with a single stands away from first. No chance that he's running here. Grand Forks needs a bunch of runs. Swinging a little flare, hit the opposite way on a slice that will fall in to shallow right field for a base hit for Brody Sorensen. And runners are aboard at first and second. That one looked like you trying to make an approach on the 9th green, and you sliced one off to the right. Sorensen went down to get a piece of it, came up with some spin on the baseball, and just flared it up enough to get past Drew Sandy, who had drifted out into short right field looking for the play. It falls just behind him and in front of Sam Mosier charging in. And Grand Forks' pair of base runners here as Zach Carolyn comes to the plate for the Blue Devils. Again, for those of you looking for Minnesota Twins baseball, we'll be joining Twins baseball in progress coming up after the completion of our post-game report here today. Look back, Sandy delivers to Carolyn, a swing and a foul off of the bat of Zach Carolyn back behind the plate. And the count is no balls and a strike on Carolyn. 1 out, 2 aboard for Grand Forks in the top of the fifth, rather bottom of the fifth. Grand Forks trailing by a score of 9-0 on our Hugo's Low scoreboard. It's set by Sandy. And the 0-1 pitch, fastball in the dirt, bounds away momentarily from Danny Boutain, but he got enough to keep it in front. And the count will level at 1 ball, 1 strike. Our coverage of Blue Devils baseball brought to you in part by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. ApplegrenHomes.com and Lithia Toyota, from our lot to your driveway. Find them online as well. Lithia Toyota in Grand Forks. Swinging a ground ball by Carolyn towards short. Up with it is Kluvers to second base for 1. Relay throw not in time. Carolyn able to beat it out. Parker Monet on to third. Brody Sorensen is forced 6-4 at second base for out number 2. Carolyn on by way of a fielder's choice, and they're at the corners with 2 outs for Brady Lewandowski. Lewandowski, a fly out to right field, his only time up back in the third. He is 0 for 1 today. He'll bat with runners on the edges here in the bottom of the fifth, and Grand Forks trailing by a score of 9-0. Just trying to find a spark to give them some momentum going into tomorrow. Whether that momentum is a comeback bid here against Post 2, or if it's a loser-out game against Minot, simply trying to finish strong here and get themselves on to Friday, which they know, or rather Thursday, which they know they will be, with a little strength and momentum behind them. Fastball misses inside. The count will go to a ball and no strikes on Brady Lewandowski. On third, Parker Monet, Zach Carolyn over at first base. Zach Sandy coming set at the belt, checks the runners. 1-0 pitch to Lewandowski, missed inside, and the count will go to 2-0. Zach Sandy digging his way back on top of the mound. Lewandowski steps in. Sandy looking for a sign. He's got it. Set at the belt buckle. 2-0 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball lifted to left field. Not too deep. Jace Dew coming on. Dances underneath it. Makes the catch. Lewandowski flies out to left field. The threat put together by Grand Forks on a couple of base knocks comes to an end with runners stranded at the edges. No runs on 2 hits, 2 left, and we are through 5 complete here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck. It remains Post 2-9 and Grand Forks nothing. This is State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Do you need a sales sign for your store? Maybe displays to light up your booth at trade shows? Or perhaps you are looking for something personal to make birthday of that special someone extra special? No matter what your need is, at Banner Buzz, we have got you covered. This is how it works. Choose from thousands of display products, customize your sizes, or pick from our standard options. For the design, you can create it using our user-friendly design tools, upload your own artwork, or ask our experienced designers to design it for you for free. Place your order using your credit card, and get it delivered right to your doorsteps right on time. Yes, it's that easy. What's more, our amazing customer happiness advisors are always available to answer any query or concern. So what are you waiting for? Have promotional or decoration plans? Make it visible only with Banner Buzz. To know more and get started, visit bannerbuzz.com today.
Welcome back to Municipal Ballpark here in Bismarck. Our timeouts this afternoon on KNOX as we continue to bring you our postseason baseball coverage. Timeouts are brought to you by Lake Region State College in Devils Lake. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. And timeouts also brought to you by Atlas Auto. It's time for you to find your next car. Use the Atlas. Atlas Auto in Grand Forks, bringing you our timeouts this afternoon. Well, I have to admit, I'm a little surprised. Drew Sandy is going to run back out onto the hill. I'm sorry, not Drew Sandy, rather, but Jack Jenke is going to run back out onto the hill for Grand Forks. Drew Sandy is due up. Middle third due up for post 2. Jet Weiss is going to go back down into the bullpen for Grand Forks. And I'm a little surprised they're going to send Jenke out there this far into the game. Curveball swung through and missed. Count goes to 0-1 on Drew Sandy. Obviously, Kelvin Ziegler knows the pitch counts better than I do, so he's aware of what Jenke's status would be and has a bead on what his pitching plan would be for the remainder of the tournament. Jenke's one of their guys that is a pretty solid reliever. If you're looking to build around a bullpen day, he'd be the guy. 0-1 pitch, little blast up the middle. Jenke deflects it with his glove. Dylan Kuntz trying to retreat to the baseball, cannot after moving to his right. And we'll see a man aboard in the form of Drew Sandy to lead off the 6th. Gonna guess that'll be the 9th hit of the game for post 2, and it will be. Sandy with a good shot right up the middle. Jenke was able to deflect it with the glove. He's a lefty. He had to reach across his body and couldn't quite get it in. And then Dylan Kuntz, who had reacted to the ball going up the middle, had run pretty hard to his right and had no chance to come back to his glove side to react to the baseball. So a leadoff man aboard. Zach Sandy stands ready. And the pitch on the way. Sandy shows bunt, takes it away. Pitches high and tight. It's a ball and no strikes on Zach Sandy. Now, the reason why we talk about Jack Jenke in that role is that you know you're going to have a bullpen day that's going to be rather meaningful throughout the course of the tournament. So you come back tomorrow, very likely Zach Ziegler against Minot. If you're fortunate enough to get a win there, you've probably got Carolyn going on day 4. Bunt is shown, taken away. Runner goes. Lewandowski pegs out to second, but it won't be in time. And Drew Sandy will swipe second base. And the go-ahead by 10 run is in scoring position out at second. So then when you get into Saturday, if you get there, and again, this is all with wins, right? Not anticipating wins anywhere, but if you get there, you have a chance to get back to your ace in the staff, which is Brody Sorensen from yesterday. But this guy on the hill right now, Jack Jenke, might be where you start a bullpen kind of day. 2-0 pitch, a blast on a curveball lifted out towards left field. That'll drop in front of the line for a hit. Up with the baseball is Jackson Hoganson. He'll relay it back in, but runners will be at the corners with nobody out. So Sandy aboard with a base hit the opposite direction. Drew Sandy glides into third. And Caden Headley will come to the plate. 0 for 3 on the day for Headley. A fly out to center, a ground out to the pitcher, and a strikeout in the second, third, and fourth, respectively. Lewandowski, the catcher, will step out in front of the plate, relay the signals to the infielders with runners now at the edges. Long way to go to try to keep that 10th run from coming in for post 2 in this situation. A look towards first, and the pitch swinging a high fly ball, shallow left center field. Now backing Monet up a little bit. Monet makes a run in on it. He has it. He's going to make the peg to the plate, but this will be offline, way up the first base line. Lewandowski goes to get it as the run scores from third. That throw off line's going to allow Zach Sandy to tag from first. That's terrific base running by post 2. Drew Sandy tags and scores, and it's now 10-0 in favor of post 2. And here comes Kelvin Ziegler out of the dugout. And that looks to be the end of the day of Jack Jenke. Ziegler took a look down towards the bullpen on the third base side. Jet Weiss is going to be summoned out of the bullpen. And this looks like it's going to be the end of the day for Jack Jenke, and it will be. So Caden Headley will get a sacrifice fly to drive in a run. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Zach Sandy to second. Drew Sandy into the plate for a 10th run of the game. And Jet Weiss will be the new pitcher for Grand Forks, and we'll tell you more about the pitching change when we return in just a couple of moments here at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck. Into the top of the 6th, post 2, now leading by a score of 10-0. Pitching change for Grand Forks, and this is State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Text us. Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
30 right now, and I'll send you your own free membership.
The new pitcher for Grand Forks will be Jet Weiss. We saw Jet on the radio earlier this year as Jet came into a game between Grand Forks and East Grand Forks when Grand Forks was forced into the bullpen early by post 157, and Jet Weiss came on and threw strong. 3 very good innings plus for Grand Forks in that matchup. And that was a game that went 9 innings and took 3 hours and 7 minutes before we finally saw East Grand Forks prevail in 9 by a score of 9-6. But Jet Weiss was very effective, and we were impressed by how this youngster came out and really handled a pretty good hitting lineup for East Grand Forks. He'll make a state tournament appearance now, facing Mike Hallquist with 1 out and a runner on second base for post 2. A 10-0 game for post 2 here in the top of the 6th, and Hallquist swings and misses. At Jet Weiss' first offering, the count will go to 0-1. Hallquist, a pair of walks, pair of runs scored in the 4 and 5th. He's 0 for 1 officially, reached on an error back in the 2nd. Weiss checks the runner, 0-1, swing and a miss again. Curveball sweeping away. And Hallquist not able to catch up to it. Count a ball and 2 strikes, or rather, no balls and 2 strikes. Zach Sandy, who's on second base, is still the responsibility of Jack Jenke. We don't have his final line yet, most of it. We can talk about that. Weiss is set, look back, the 0-2. Swinging a blast out into right center field. This is going to finish up the line for Jack Jenke. Is turning around third is Zach Sandy looking to score. He'll come in and score, and it's now 11-0 in favor of post 2. That's just a very good piece of hitting by Mike Hallquist, who goes opposite way with that pitch. Jet Weiss had located pretty well on the outer half of the plate during the at-bat, and so Hallquist makes the adjustment and just lifts one out into right center field and comes up with an RBI single. Closes the book on Jack Jenke. His third run given up as Sam Mosier steps in and swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. For Jenke today, 1 2/3 of work, 3 runs all earned on 5 hits. He struck out 2, walked 1. And right now is not the pitcher of record. The start went to Jackson Hoganson today. 0-1 pitch from Jet Weiss to Sam Mosier. Sidearm delivery misses in the dirt. And the count will level up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Twins baseball is on the way. Following the completion of this matchup, we'll join the pregame report, likely in progress. You shouldn't miss any of the game itself. 1-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball towards third. Sorensen has it. Only play is across the diamond. He'll throw across to first to get Sam Mosier. 5-3 for out number 2. Hallquist moves on to second base. And with 2 outs and a runner now on second, it's up to Danny Boutain to try to keep things moving for Fargo Post 2. Post 2 trying to put themselves in the semifinals tomorrow night. They would take on either West Fargo or Bismarck in the next matchup. Swing and a miss by Danny Boutain on an off-speed pitch from Weiss. And the count is no balls and a strike. West Fargo went, or rather Post 2 went through the league 14-2 this year, but their lone losses were to the bottom seeds in the state. They lost one to Minot, lost one to Post 400. 0-1 pitch on the way in the dirt. That'll go back to the screen. And moving up on the play is Hallquist. He'll go to third on a wild pitch from new pitcher Jet Weiss. Minot still alive in the tournament. Fargo Post 400, I'm sorry. Fargo Post 400. I believe they're still alive as well, if I'm not mistaken. They play tomorrow. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, so the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes on Danny Boutain. Take a look at the scores from earlier today. I know I have them here in front of me someplace. Where is that spreadsheet? There it is. Fargo Post 400 with a 3-2 win over Williston today. Pitch misses inside, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. So Post 400 knocking off Williston, the 5 seed today, by a score of 3-2. And Post 400 plays at 2 o'clock tomorrow against the loser of Bismarck and West Fargo, coming up after this matchup. Weiss a set, 1-2 pitch, high and away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Boutain. Boutain a walk and a run scored in the third. Moved runners along with a sacrifice bunt in the fourth, struck out in the fifth. 0 for 1 today with a run scored. Weiss trying to get Grand Forks out of the inning with 2 more in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got Danny Boutain on strikes. Jet Weiss will pick up a strikeout, his first of the day. And Post 2 is set down in their half of the 6th, but they'll plate 2 more runs on 3 hits and leave 1. And they'll pitch for the victory in 6 innings as they lead by a score of 11-0 over Grand Forks and the Blue Devils. And the bottom of the 6th is on the way next. This is state tournament baseball coverage on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Your timeouts. Find your next car at Atlas Auto. Atlas Auto, in Grand Forks, bringing you our coverage of this state tournament matchup. Grand Forks will send a pinch hitter to the plate, Tanner Faller, a Red River product, and will be a senior this year. Will step in and bat for Ross Meyer in that number 9 spot. Fastball misses away, and the count is a ball and no strikes. If Grand Forks were to scratch out a couple of runs here, that means they'd have to go further into their bullpen to pitch the 7th, as this is the spot currently occupied by the pitcher in the lineup. 1-0 pitch called for a strike right at the belt. Count will level on Tanner Faller at 1 ball, 1 strike. But Fargo Post 2 trying to end this one in 6. They got the 6-inning victory over Post 400 to start the tournament. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Long run for Kluvers, but has it. Fires across the diamond. His throw ends up pulling Cole Hage off the bag, but Hage is able to get back in time and record the out, and Faller will ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Couple of base hits for Grand Forks in the 5th. Parker Monet, Brody Sorensen, but one thing that will trouble Grand Forks going into their presumed game tomorrow with Minot, only 7 hits in the tournament. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the day for Zach Sandy, as Luke Rusted does not want Sandy facing the lineup for a 3rd time. So he's going to send Zach Sandy into the dugout and bring out a new pitcher. And we'll see Fargo Post 2 making a change as well. The new pitcher will be Tyler Thrash, a Fargo North product that will step in. So Thrash comes to the hill to try to close things up for Fargo Post 2. And we'll have that for you in a couple of moments. 11-0 Post 2 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Back with more in a moment from Bismarck on KNOX.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Here, it's due.
Tyler Thrash takes over for Fargo Post 2, trying to finish things up today for Post 2 against Grand Forks. Jackson Hoganson starts the 3rd time through the order, and Luke Rusted, the head coach of Post 2, seeing fit to make a change, not allowing Zach Sandy to go through the order a 3rd time. 1 out in the inning here in the bottom of the 6th. Post 2 leading 11-0. A curveball misses low and in on Hoganson, and the count will go to a ball and no strikes. Jackson Hoganson, a walk and a ground out so far today, 0 for 1. Curveball grounded out towards 2nd. Slow roller, that'll be picked up by Drew Sandy over to 1st in time. And Hoganson grounds out 4-3, and Grand Forks is down to their final out here in the 6th. Post 2 leading by a score of 11-0. Grand Forks an out away from being sent to an elimination game tomorrow at 11 o'clock here in Bismarck. They would go up against Minot, who defeated Dickinson today by a score of 4-1. And we'll see Dylan Kuntz as the last hope to try to start the rally. Swinging a ground ball number right back to Thrash. Thrash has it, fires over to first base. Dylan Kuntz is out. Grand Forks goes away in order in their half of the 6th. Just a couple of hits today for Grand Forks to break up what was an effort that saw starter Zach Sandy face the minimum through 4 1/3 innings of work this afternoon. Well pitched, well played, and Grand Forks beaten by a very good Post 2 team by a final score of 11-0 here this afternoon. Again, your final score on the Hugo's Low scoreboard is Post 2 11 and Grand Forks nothing. Your post-game totals and summary along with a wrap-up on our Spray Advantage post-game report coming up in just a couple of moments. Stay with us for that. We'll have it for you with a wrap-up on our player awards as well. This is State Tournament Baseball on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Whether you are looking to refinance your current mortgage and save or purchase a new home, Sean Carlson with Town & Country Credit Union can help. With over 15 years of mortgage experience, he's an expert on VA, FHA, USDA, first-time home buyer, and conventional home loans, and can help determine the best loan product to fit your needs. His borrowers agree, saying, Sean was a pleasure to work with and made the entire mortgage process easy. I highly recommend him. Ready to check out how Sean Carlson and Town & Country Credit Union can help make your financial life easy? Stop by one of the 6 convenient Fargo West Fargo locations or visit townandcountry.org today. From free checking accounts to auto loans to commercial and ag loans and, of course, home loans, Town & Country Credit Union has the low loan rates, flexible terms, low fees, and personal service you deserve. See for yourself how much you might save. Apply online today at townandcountry.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you need a sales sign for your store? Maybe displays to light up your booth at trade shows? Or perhaps you are looking for something personal to make birthday of that special someone extra special? No matter what your need is, at Banner Buzz, we have got you covered. This is how it works. Choose from thousands of display products, customize your sizes, or pick from our standard options. For the design, you can create it using our user-friendly design tools. Upload your own artwork, or ask our experienced designers to design it for you for free. Place your order using your credit card and get it delivered right to your doorsteps right on time. Yes, it's that easy. What's more, our amazing customer happiness advisors are always available to answer any query or concern. So what are you waiting for? Have promotional or decoration plans? Make it visible only with Banner Buzz. To know more and get started, visit bannerbuzz.com today.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack in the Midwest. We thank you for your continued trust in Giants to provide you the best quality sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pistachios, and our delicious cashews.
We welcome you back to Municipal Ballpark here in Bismarck. Our post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage in Grand Forks and St. Thomas as Fargo Post 2 makes their way back into the semifinals of North Dakota State baseball. Today with an 11-0 win in 6 innings over the Grand Forks Blue Devils. The win will send Post 2 on to a semifinal game tomorrow night at 5. They will go up against either Bismarck or West Fargo in the winner's bracket matchup. And the reason why we call that a semifinal is that the winner there is in the championship series on day 5, no matter what happens on day 4. They still play again on day 4, but here's the way state tournament baseball works. If you win on day 3 and you're 3-0 going into day 4, and you lose on day 4, you get only one championship opportunity on day 5. You'd play the last game of the tournament. If you win on day 4, you have to be beaten twice on day 5 because there would be only 2 teams left. There are 3 teams remaining. If the team that goes 3-0 to start the tournament then loses their 4th game, that leaves 3 teams remaining. So it is a semifinal tomorrow against either Bismarck or West Fargo because you're in the championship series, but you still have a game to play on Saturday. The loss will send Grand Forks into loser-out play against Minot tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Our post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for your farm's spraying and chemical application process. Make them a part of your agricultural plan for this year and for years to come. They have the parts in stock you're looking for. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, and seed tenders with 2 locations in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage bringing you today's post-game report. Let's go through our post-game summary. Grand Forks gave up a solo home run on the second at-bat of the game. Jackson Hoganson going out to the hill and pitched admirably in this one until the 4th got away from him. Some walks kind of hurt him in the 3rd and 4th inning as well. But what hurt him in the first was Cole Hage, who unloaded on the second pitch that he saw today for a solo home run over the left field fence. That made it 1-0 in favor of Post 2. And that really was the trendsetter in the game, as Zach Sandy didn't need any more than that. He would face the minimum today through 4 1/3 innings of work. Grand Forks didn't pick up a hit until the 5th. Zach Sandy came out after facing a batter in the 6th, goes 5 1/3 for the win today. And in the end, just a pair of base hits for Grand Forks in the 5th. Fargo Post 2 got back on the board in the third as they were able to string together a couple of base hits, but began to take advantage of Jackson Hoganson missing on some pitches. Hoganson walked the first two men he faced in the third, those being Danny Boutain and Jace Dew. A couple of back-to-back hits by Cole Hage and Zach Kluvers plated a run, and then Cole Hage would later score on a fielder's choice from Zach Sandy, which made it a 3-0 game. In the fourth, things got away a little bit, and it chased Jackson Hoganson out of the matchup. Hoganson walked Mike Holquist and Sam Mosier to start the inning. Sacrifice bunt moved them over. Jace Dew with the sacrifice fly brought in one. Cole Hage with his third hit of the day brought in another. Then Kluvers drawing a walk and a big 2 RBI triple by Drew Sandy plated a couple of runs. He later scored on Zach Sandy's double. 5 came in the inning. It was 8-0 there. Another run in the fifth for Post 2, 2 in the sixth to finish things up. And Post 2 wins it by a final score of 11-0 this afternoon. Post-game totals, Post 2, 11 runs on 11 hits, no errors, they leave 7. The win goes to Zach Sandy, who goes 5 1/3 today. No runs, giving up 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 4. The game was finished up by Tyler Thrash, who went 2/3 of an inning and gave up nothing but a pair of ground ball outs. But Zach Sandy gets the win today on 5 1/3 of shutout ball, allowing just 2 hits and striking out 4. For Grand Forks, no runs, 2 hits, and error. They leave 2. The loss will go to Jackson Hoganson, who goes 3 2/3 innings of work today, gives up 8 runs. 7 of those were earned on 5 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 5. Jack Jenke came in to work an inning in 2/3, gave up 3 runs that were earned on 5 hits, struck out 2, walked 1. Jet Weiss came on, finished up the game after giving up a hit to Mike Holquist, got a ground out and a strikeout. Pretty effective relief effort today for Jet Weiss. Again, the win to Zach Sandy for Post 2, the loss to Jackson Hoganson for Grand Forks. 11 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 7 left for Post 2. No runs, 2 hits, and error, 2 left for Grand Forks. Your final score today, Post 2, 11. Grand Forks, nothing in 6 innings. The game played in 1 hour and 34 minutes. Started at 3:58 and ended at 5:32 Central Daylight Time at Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck, North Dakota. That's your post-game summary. We'll continue our Spray Advantage post-game report in a moment with our player awards for the Grand Forks Blue Devils and a look ahead to what's to come next. That as we wrap up our post-game report next on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessories Sports Network from KNOX.
When accidents happen, trust Abra Auto Body and Glass to get a fix